Dating now is way different than what it was last month. I've been doing some field research, mixing the blue liquids with the red liquids, and I am so anxious to share my findings. Relax and take notes. Don't be afraid to talk to strangers. All right, let's say you know 200 people, and out of those 200 people, let's say 50 of those people are potential people you could date. Over here you have 7 billion people that you don't know. And about any given week, let's say you see 1,000 people. So if you never talk to strangers, you're eliminating those thousands upon thousands of people that you come across every week. But if you're like me, you are petrified of rejection. How can you win really big without multiple failed attempts? My cousin from New York, one day he's stuck in traffic. He looks over to his left and he sees his dream woman, gets out of his car, goes over to her car. Now the car is full of girls. She's sitting in the middle of the back seat and he's like, "Excuse me, ma'am, me and you, we need to be friends." Got her phone number, they started dating, and now they have a kid. All because he just happened to glance over. Fellas, this one is more so for you, but when you approach like a gentleman. There's so many times I've seen a girl walk by a guy and he starts doing like the cat calls, like has that ever worked? Has there ever been a girl that walks by and the guy starts barking at her and she turns around like, are you barking at me? Like, can I come home with you? I don't think it's ever worked in the history of ever. And another tip, don't be clingy. Guys and girls, a lot of us love attention, but we also don't like the feeling that we've just adopted a plant that we have to water every 5 seconds. When I like somebody, it's really hard for me to go a full day without texting them, but sometimes it's necessary. When I focus on short and long-term goals, that love interest just sometimes seem to fall in place around it. All right, let's talk about appearances. And I know some of us are very self-conscious about our bodies. I'm not trying to give anybody shallow advice. This is like scientific, but appearances do play a portion into this whole thing. Even if it matters a little bit, it still matters. Would you date somebody that had no teeth? Let's just be real. Do you exercise? Do you work out? Do you groom yourself? What's your fashion sense? The sexy convict guy went viral and all these girls went crazy just based on his face. Looks are great and everything, but the way you act oftentimes supersedes everything else. Now, a lot of us are tired of hearing about the good guy and the bad boy, but have you ever wondered why some girls can't resist the bad boy? And why a lot of guys can't resist that bad boss chick? It's not because they're jerks. It's because of their attitude. They're independent, they're assertive, and they're confident. And a lot of times, that all translates into sexy. That nice guy or girl is romantic, puts your needs before theirs. Some people like the nice guy or the nice girl. Some people like the bad boy or the bad girl. But what I've learned is that when you find a nice medium, that balance, people love that. Because once you find that balance, you have the best of both worlds. You're like romantic and caring and sensitive, but you're also adventurous and dangerous. If you're gonna nab that guy or girl of your dreams, the best way to do it is by keeping it real. You gotta be vulnerable and expose something that your dream guy or girl might not like. Perfect example, I was dating this girl. One night she's like, "Oh my god, I wanna go out dancing." So I grab my boy Harry and the three of us go to City Walk and we're out there dancing. Three of us are in the middle of the dance floor like, The DJ puts on Backstreet Boys. The girl I'm dating is like, "Oh my god, Backstreet Boys is the best." I'm like, no. Backstreet Boys is cool and everything, but they're not as good as NSYNC. Are you stupid? Backstreet Boys is so much better than NSYNC. And when she said that, I was ready to fight. I pulled out my knife and I stabbed Harry in the throat just to let her know I mean business. It's alright guys, it's a retractable knife. Harry didn't really get hurt. I'm like, did you not watch Bye Bye Bye? Like the production value in that video? Did you just close your eyes every time it came on? Because the choreography blows away anything Backstreet has ever done in their entire career. Yeah, they got a plane. Backstreet is cool, don't get me wrong, but NSYNC, come on now. I was not afraid to disagree. Another good tip is to not always talk about yourself. It's good to ask questions sometimes to find out more about the other person's day. But let me just end it here. That's a good note to end it on because there's a bunch more tips that we can go into, like not being a slob for one. Also not being selfish, and that comes to emotional selfishness and even physical and intimate selfishness. Like if you're gonna receive, be ready to give. Don't get me started, guys. We're gonna end it here. Thanks for watching. Cut it. It's a wrap.